Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Satsang with John and
Michelle. Hi, everyone.
Hi. And we've had some big fires in Somerset West, and our thoughts go out to anyone being involved in those fires. But we've just received some beautiful, soft rain where we are. And it's such a blessing because we've had such a dry season, haven't we?
Yeah, it hasn't really been winter in the Cape.
For those of you who don't know Cape Town, it's a Mediterranean climate, so we get our rain in winter, and yet we haven't had any rain so far. So we're really blessed right now with this rain.
We're just hoping, praying that it goes through to that side. Because the whole mountain has been burning for a few days.
It will.
Yeah.
So welcome. Hello, Claire.
Hello, Paula.
Hello, Paula.
And all the rest of you who are joining us. Thanks for the hearts. We love the hearts.
Send us we like getting your comments and knowing who we're speaking to, Myra, and where you are watching from, because that's interesting as well. And as Michelle said, we love getting the hearts, so thank you for that.
Hi,
thank
Vanessa,
you.
Cecilia.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Beautiful. Awesome.
And what's the subject for tonight?
There's a crack.
Everything. In everything. That lets the light in. There's a crack in everything that lets the light in.
By
Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen. Anyone old enough to remember that? Beautiful song. Beautiful. What an incredible poet he was.
Yeah.
So tonight we'll be looking at that. What are the cracks in our life? What are these cracks? And what is the light? What is the light that gets let in? So we're going to be looking at that tonight. Now we're going to start this evening, as we always do, by bringing the light into our awareness, the light of presence into our awareness, the light of unconditioned consciousness into our consciousness. And how do we do that? Well, we center ourselves into the here and now. We withdraw our mind from all other times and all other places and just become centered here and now, in this beautiful body of ours, what I call a meat suit that we put on every morning. And this meat suit has a wonderful attribute in that it's always present. The body doesn't go anywhere. It's like nature. Nature is always present. It's only our mind. And we as a human species have a unique ability. No one else has got that. Animals don't have it. Birds don't have it. We have it. To make what isn't more real than what is. So we're able to make our thoughts more real to us than actuality. We're able to make our past and our future more real to us than what's actually happening in life in this moment. And so we always start the satsangs by centering ourselves back into this body, which is connected directly with life, and life is always present. So the more we connect our awareness with the body, the more we become aligned with life. And that beautiful acronym, One with Life. OWL. Very wise to be aligned with life. So in this moment, if you want to maybe just see that you've got enough cushions, that you're comfortable, and gently close your eyes and just bring your awareness out from your story, out from the day's happenings, or any projections into tomorrow's happenings, and just connect right here and right now with your physical body. And we can use our senses to do that. We can feel, for example, right now, feel the chair you're sitting on. Feel that sensation in your body. Feel your feet where they are on the floor. Feel the aliveness of the body from the inside. And as you are sitting here tonight listening to us, see if you can listen with your whole body, with every cell in your body. Just see what happens when you do that, when you listen with your whole body. Something shifts in your body, something shifts in your energies. Just see if you can feel that. Let's use the portal of listening right now. We're listening with our whole body, but we can also hear with our ears. What is the furthest, faintest sound you can hear right now? Don't be too concerned with labeling anything, but just be the perceiver of the sound. With your eyes closed, see what you can see behind your eyelids. And notice what happens to you when you do that exercise. Notice what happens to your awareness when you perceive the shapes, the colors behind your eyelids right now. There's a heightened sense of presence when you become aware of that, because it's unusual. We don't normally pay attention to that. And it's the same as listening to the faintest, furthest, softest sound. We have to become very present to do that. We have to heighten our state of consciousness. Let's listen even more intently right now. Let's listen to the beating of our own heart. Every time the heart beats, it pushes a pressure wave through the eardrums. Let's just see if we can hear that. And once again, just notice to the shift in awareness as we do that. Notice how your whole body feels in this moment as you listen with your body. Another portal into presence is that one that we use every week called breathing. Yes, that breathing takes place automatically most of the time, but when we bring our awareness into alignment with the breath is the breath of life. So when we bring our conscious awareness into the breathing and into the breath, we become more aligned with life. So it's a very good exercise to do whenever you're stressed, whenever you're worried, concerned, anxious. Just bring your awareness back to the breath, just this breath that you're taking here and now. Let's use our conscious control to take a very deep breath into the body. And as we breathe in, so we breathe in deep into the body, not from our shoulders, but from our belly. And as we breathe out, so we just release everything that no longer serves us in this moment. It's a releasing, a letting go process. Let's breathe in deeply once more. Breathe in deeply, pushing your belly button out like a big ball. And that beautiful long breath out. Just releasing, letting go, surrendering, and sinking down deeper and deeper into the body. Let's take a deep breath in now to the count of 4. Filling your whole body up, right to the top of your head and down to your toes. And then as you breathe out, make it to the count of 8. Just let everything go. And as you breathe out, sink down deeper into the present moment and into the body. And as you do that, just become aware of how you feel in this moment. As we hand the breathing back over to life, and we trust that life will breathe us without any conscious control, we maintain our awareness of the breath, even though we're not doing it anymore. And we become supremely focused on that slight pause between the in and the out breath, and the out and the in breath. Just become aware of that emptiness, that stillness within. And as we become aware of the stillness within, we remember who we really are. And we discover the inner beauty of silence, of stillness, of emptiness. And as we become one with life, so we find that our hearts open and love flows into our bodies, into our awareness, and into the world. And we feel connected to all of those on the satsang. And we feel connected to the planet and to all who call her home. The birds, the insects, the animals, the trees, the oceans. We feel a sense of brotherhood with all of life, a sense of connection. We are all sons and daughters of the universe. We all have a common heritage, and that heritage is stillness. Another word for that stillness is being. And being is sacred and beautiful. Take another conscious deep breath in, right down to your toes, blowing your tummy up. And a beautiful long sigh out. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, just look around the room at the objects in the room. And notice how much more softer they look, how much more beautiful they look, how much more precious this present moment is when we become present. So, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for adding your energy to the energy of tonight's satsang. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. That was lovely, John. So we're going to talk about the light.
The light.
And the cracks.
And the cracks.
Light come through.
But before we do that, can't we have an astrological update?
I will give you a little update. So we're headed towards a full moon, which is going to be a supermoon on Tuesday.
And what is a supermoon?
Supermoon just means that it's bigger because it's closer.
Okay.
So it's bigger. And often supermoons come with big things. So things are sort of amplified. And full moon's always a time of amplification anyway. And it's just interesting that we're having wildfires here in the Cape because it's a fiery full moon. And we've got the moon in Sagittarius, which has just gone into now. And we've also got Jupiter and Mars in Aries. So it's a lot of fire energy. And so the full moon is always a time where things are exposed and lit up and amplified. And generally emotions can come out as well. But this one's on the axis of Sagittarius and Gemini. So the sun's in Gemini, the moon's in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about truth and about finding the truth and about seeking knowledge, but true knowledge. So seeking higher knowledge, higher learning. It's the sign of the centaur, which is like half man, half beast, and he shoots his arrows out into the universe. It's opposite the sun in Gemini, which is very much more about head knowledge, about rational, about communication. So it's the communication axis. So that's kind of being amplified at the moment, as is the truth thing. What is the truth? So it's always a time to ask ourselves, what is the truth? But then those two are actually in a square. And I'll do a video probably tomorrow on this in more detail because I don't want to take up too much time. But in a square to that, which is very different, is Neptune in Pisces, which is water. And so for me, what that sort of says in context with what we're going to be talking about tonight is the busy mind, this communication axis. It's future-oriented, and our thoughts, our beliefs, our programming, what we are listening to, what we're digesting, the words that we're listening to, what we're watching. It's very busy. This mind is very busy. And when we're trying to find truth in something, when we're trying to find our inner truth, we've got to kind of stop that noise a little bit and go inside. And that, for me, we're being assisted with that in the next few days as this Neptune comes in and says, go inside. It's like the rain falling on the fire. Just putting the flames out, so that you can actually calm down and just listen. And that's our theme on Inner Space for the month as well, is listening. So listening within. But to do that, we need to calm the noise down, calm the flames down.
Quieten the mind.
Busyness. So that's a big thing. And then also coming up is we've got a beautiful connection between Venus, which is the planet of love and connection and values. And it's in its best sign, which is Taurus. And there's some quite interesting stuff happening between Venus and Uranus and all sorts of things. And so what that is doing is it's sort of saying, go inside and see, like what you did in the lead up in the meditation, is connect with your body, connect with this temple, connect with feeding your body, making sure that you bring comfort in, maybe bring pleasure in. So it's really a week where that's going to also help to balance. So see it as kind of a fiery time, air and fire, air fans fire, fire makes air hot, all cooled down by this Neptune, which is going within, and then going within and really valuing nature, valuing our bodies, valuing the senses, the 5 senses, like what you did in the opening. So yeah, just be aware that it's quite a lot of energy building over the next few days. So those are a little bit of, there are a few tools to help us navigate that.
Yeah, and you said there that this is a time of communication and truth. So one would presume this is a time of speaking your truth, right? And what is the truth that needs to be spoken? Well, the mind will come up with all sorts of stories about what is the truth that I need to say. But the deepest truth that you can ever communicate is the truth of who you are. And that is love. Love is always the deepest truth. So over the next few days, just monitor your communication and ask yourself, is what I am communicating coming from love, or is it coming from fear? And fear is always the need to protect, to defend, to aggrandize, to sort of solidify, where love has got no defenses. Love is coming from openness and honesty and vulnerability. That's what love is. So over the next few days, just monitor your communication and just check that they're in alignment with truth. And truth is love. Truth also, funny enough, is stillness. So is your communication coming from stillness, or is it coming from a very busy, upset mind? Because there will be a bit of an upset in the mind, won't there?
No, there will be, and there's also deep patterning coming up because the nodes of the moon are involved, and the past is actually very involved in this. So the past patterning, conditioning, belief systems, all those old grooves that are in your mind might come up. So rather than see it as a bad thing, look at it, see it, and say, is this true? Is this pattern, is this that I'm saying, is this that I'm believing, is it true? Is this old fear still relevant? Because this is a time, particularly this year, of clearing and seeing those what we see as cracks or challenges as an opportunity to see the truth, to see the light. That's another way of looking at that subject that we came up with.
Yeah, tonight we're looking at it's the cracks that let the light in. And we can read that
Lots of different ways.
Yeah, we can. And the graphic that we in fact put out tonight, if you notice that, it seems to me the cracks is actually letting the light out, which is a wonderful picture to have as well, because in truth, this stillness, this beingness, this essence of who you are is the light. And it's the cracks that allow that light out into the world. That's one way of seeing it, which is a beautiful way of seeing it. But the other way is that we have built up armor around us, and we have positioned ourselves inside the walls of our own prison. And in fact, it's only when they crack, when the walls of protection around ourselves crack, does that beautiful light, the light of love, the light of life, come into our awareness. So we can see it both ways. The cracks are letting our true essence shine forth, but also they are cracking this armor that we placed around ourselves.
And very often that armor is placed around our hearts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so many people that, I've spoken to in my life have said, I'm just not going to open my heart anymore because I'm going to get hurt. And that's just not true, because you actually get more hurt when you put up an armor, when you harden your heart. So very often a challenge, let's call that a crack. So, you get a clap from the universe or from
like
something. Anything. It can be a divorce, it can be an illness, it can be a financial crisis, it can be anything. That would be considered a crisis, a really difficult challenge. That crack can actually be the very thing that cracks, almost like the ego open. It cracks you open to actually help you see the truth.
Yeah, that hardness around the heart can be thought of as callous, a callous. And what happens is life comes along in very unexpected ways and breaks that open. And we find a lot of pain and a lot of suffering in that breaking. Having your heart broken is very painful. But in that breaking, we're breaking not the heart, but the callus around the heart. We're breaking our own identity of what life is and what we are and what life should be. We're breaking the story. Because if I had to ask you, is there anyone on this group tonight that's ever experienced a heartbreak? Have you ever had your heart broken?
Tell us in the messages.
Now just think about that. Yeah, tell us in the messages. It's a good idea. Just think about that. Love cannot be broken. It's like trying to break the ocean or trying to break space. Love is all there is. So love can't be broken, and our heart is the very seat of that awareness within us. So I'm going to suggest that although it appears from a human level that our hearts get broken because we feel the pain, it isn't our hearts that get broken. It is in fact the expectations around love, around life, around relationship that get broken. And in the breaking of that story, of that illusion of permanence, we feel the pain. Yes, we do feel the pain in our heart. But that pain can be seen as an awakening, not as a punishment. So in fact, that crack, that cracks open, that hardness around the heart is actually something, it's an opportunity to go deeper into reality, to step out of the illusion that I've been telling myself, subconsciously most of the time, about the nature of how life should be and ought to be and will be in the future, and dealing deeper with what I call the isness of life, with the actual reality of life in this moment. And so those times of so-called heartbreak, I believe, should be celebrated as opportunities, as openings for us to love deeper, the true essence of what life is, rather than the story in our head. Because love is not a story. Love is an actuality. Love is life. Love is presence. And so these cracks in the matrix that we build around ourselves of reality are always opportunities to transcend that which wasn't real.
It can also be an expansion. If something's too small, it actually needs to crack open to actually create more room. I just thought of that as well. So, if you feel like you've been cracked open, maybe it's because you've just outgrown that particular old pattern, that old structure, that old crust, and you're ready to let it go. And that's very definitely the theme of this whole year, is what are we ready to expand into? I mean, Jupiter's just moved into Aries. It's a brand new cycle. That's 12 years. It's a 12-year cycle. It's a brand new cycle, along with Mars, saying what's ready to be born into this new expanded self. So if I am not fitting, it doesn't feel like my old situation is a fit anymore. It could just be that you've expanded and it needs to crack open so that you can actually expand. And so I think that's another theme, the way we can see that, is we very often get caught in comfort zones and we think that they are safe and we think they're secure, but they're actually very often our own prisons. So we feel that that's safe and secure, my little comfort zone. And when that starts to wobble and starts to crack, it feels, my comfort zone's cracking. But actually what's happening is you're needing to expand. So it's just another way of seeing it. If you are going through crisis, it can be that. It can be that something is shifting so you can grow. It's a new growth cycle that we're in.
And generally what breaks is the perception of self. Who am I?
Yes.
That is being broken. And it's not the true self that gets broken. What is real can't be threatened, said the Course in Miracles. And that's just so true. What is real can never be broken. What is real is eternal and ever present. But what gets broken is that which is not real, that which we have constructed in our head to be reality, to be, for example, the self, the self that has a label, the name, the gender, the race, the achievements, the future aspirations. That gets shattered. But in that moment, who you really are is then given the opportunity to expand into your awareness. So it is very much a time of expansion through that. And to recognize that when we do feel pain, it's because something in the illusion is having to be faced as illusionary. Yeah. In other words, we're having to face something which we believed to be permanent or solid or reliable, and we discover it's not like that. Mm. And so that's the crack in the matrix, in the mind, in our egoic perception of reality, that lets the light of truth into us. And the truth again is love, is stillness, is peace, is life. That's the truth that's ever present. So what we are doing is as we go through these massive challenges that we're doing as a species at the moment, we are breaking the old illusions so that something new can be born. And all illusion is based on false evidence appearing real. And that's the acronym for fear.
And the thing is that very often we align that cracking or that wobbliness or that uncertainty or the unknowing with failure, because we live in a very outcome-driven world. So people will say, what are you doing next? Where are you going next? Where are you going to live? What you're going to do? What's your 5-year plan? So when you don't have that and your world feels like it's cracking or crumbling, we often see that as failure. There's something I'm doing wrong, that my world isn't safe. But the reality is, as John's saying, is that the illusion is the thing that's breaking. So we have our hearts broken when we are in a relationship and the relationship ends, or when we expect to be with somebody for the next 40 years and the person dies or leaves, or we have a house and the house burns down and we've put everything that we have into that house. So whatever we're defining ourselves with, however we're defining ourselves, that's the illusion that gets broken. That, I'm not my house. I'm not my partnership. Yes, that was very close to me, but it isn't who I am. And it feels heartbreaking. So we need to feel that pain, absolutely, but also know that there's something else there.
There's something deeper, something more beautiful.
Something more.
And just looking at that, the ending of relationship is definitely a crack in the matrix. I mean, the pain that we feel is so profound and so deep and so devastating in that moment. But the illusion, the biggest illusion that needs to be faced by most of us, is that relationships give you love. And that is absolutely not true. Nothing, no thingness can ever give you love. Love is who you already are. Love is all that is. And the mind always looks to form to give it the formless, because love is formless. And as such, the mind attaches love to a particular person or a particular event or whatever it is. And that is illusion. And so when that form starts to disintegrate and break, there's the opportunity to see deeper, to see what hasn't changed. And in that seeing, there's the recognition of what love really is, not what your mind made love out to be. The mind, for example, one of the ways it sees love is having my insecurities papered over, having my insecurities met. And that is not love at all. That is egoic wanting, egoic desire, egoic avoidance of truth. And so in that moment of the relationship cracking, it lets the light of awareness into us. What hasn't changed?
What's true?
What hasn't changed? The relationship's changed. Yes, that person's changed. I've changed. But what hasn't changed? Because truth never changes. The absolute truth never changes. The truth of life, the truth of love, the truth of presence, that never changes. So there's an opportunity in every crack for you to see the light. The light is truth.
Yeah. It is what that's what it is.
Yep. It is that.
And the truth is always there, waiting.
And I'm going to suggest that we have lived as a species for the last few thousand years very much in an object-derived sense of self and sense of value. We look to objects to give us value. We look to objects to tell us who we are. We look to objects to give us, for example, the things that we value. For example, we might, if you really go deeper and deeper into what it is you really, really, really want, you'll find it is things like peace, like joy, like ease, like love. These are what we really yearn for. And what we've done over the few thousand years is we have outsourced those to objects, to things. And we are going through what's called the apocalypse, which is the veil of deceit is coming down. The veil of illusion is dissolving. And so in this process, yes, there is the cracking. Yes, there is the pain of the ending of illusion, which is disillusionment. But in that same space, there's the opportunity to awaken to something more magnificent than illusion, more magnificent than the matrix of the mind, and to start to see the formless and to start to value the formless rather than just the mere form. And that is what awakening is really about, is to see through the illusion of form, to that which is ever present. And that is self-realization, because you're not the form. You're not the form of the body. You're not the gender. You're not the race.
No, you're infinite consciousness.
You're infinite, unconditioned consciousness.
There was a beautiful, in astrology, you've got something called a Sabian symbol for a full moon, for a particular degree in the zodiac. And this one, which is Tuesday, which is leading up to it, is the essential technique for successful living, is the development of a consciousness in which peace and happiness dwell. And that's what it is. It's that, what is the truth beneath all of everything else? It's developing that consciousness. Where does peace dwell? That's my true home. So yes, my home might disappear, or yes, I might not know where I'm going to live. Where's my true home? That's what we've been called on this year, especially, various other energetic reasons, to actually say, where is our true home? Who am I? And we often refer to that. Who am I? Who am I? Am I this name? Am I this gender? Am I this age? Well, no, because I was here when I was 2, and I didn't look like this. So this is definitely not permanent. I mean, Eckhart says all structures are impermanent. So everything in the permanent is going to change. What isn't going to change? What is never going to change? the infinite.
What has never changed?
What has never changed,
And
can never change.
And what is not changing in this moment. And that's such a deep inquiry, and yet it's something that we of necessary, that we of what's the word I'm looking for?
Necessity.
Need to make right now. Because the world of form is becoming more and more unstable. More and more unstable. And so we, in order to find our inner security, we need to let go of that which is insecure and step back into that. And this is stepping back into who and what you really are. No, you're not your name. You're not your age. You're not your gender. You're not your achievements. You're none of that. You're something more permanent than that ever change. And the one thing which we can absolutely know for true is that everything changes. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this too will pass. This form will pass. But the formless is always here, always present. So this self-inquiry is possibly the most important work that we can do right now, is to ask that question, who am I? Not who I think I am, but who am I really? Not who other people think I am, but who am I really? Because only by stepping into that do we step into the true light of being.
Now that question is arguably the deepest question you can ever ask. If you really ask that question and you keep asking. Because who are you? And the first thing you'll do is you'll say your name, your gender, where you live. Go deeper. Who are you? Who would you be if that role disappeared? Who would you be if that person disappeared? So if I'm a mother or a sister or a daughter, who would I be if that person disappeared? Oh, I'm not a daughter anymore. Okay, who am I? Who am I if I can't do my career anymore? Who am I? What's underneath? What's the core essence of who we are? That's where the truth is. And that's where we get to be at the center of the wheel in the midst of the storm. No matter what's going on outside, in the world of form, we get to be in the center. That's why this is so important, this work. But in the process of that, all our illusions will come up, because those are like old patterns. They're like old grooves. It's like that record. Remember the old days? The record used to get stuck in the same place. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's that same old pattern, the same old fear that you've been carrying around forever. And that will play as a broken record so that you can see it. And full moons are often a chance where you can see that as we lead up to it.
Yeah, and
you
full
can
moons,
see those old belief systems.
Full moons bring up the insanity.
Oh yeah.
They definitely do. And so, within us and within other people. But then when you look deeper, what is deeper than the insanity? What is more real than the insanity? That's the work that we're doing. That's the important work that we need to be doing at this time. Why? Why is this important? Well, the old world that we have grown up into, that we think of as normal, the old normal, is based on fear, based on this false evidence appearing real, that I am what I do, I am my accomplishments, I am my achievements, I am my acquisitions, I am my failures. That's the old world of fear. There is the opportunity now for the human species to transcend that old world of fear. And the world that we have the opportunity to enter now is the world of love. Now, the old world is very much based on, as we've said, on the world of the perception of things. And as these cracks appear, the light comes through. Now, the recognition of the light is the recognition of love, because love and light are the same thing. And so when you start to see through the form to the formless, that is when we open ourselves up and allow love to flow. So what happens is that as we start to recognize the formless in ourselves and in other people, so we open a portal for love to flow, because love is the recognition of oneness. We're not one in our form state. My form is different to your form. We're not in love when we only participate in a world of things. Love is the recognition of oneness. And what is oneness but the formless, the beingness, the life, the one life. And so every crack that we're going through at the moment, the crack in perhaps in our beliefs, the cracks in our financial security, maybe cracks in health, for example, relationships. These cracks are all there to find out where is the oneness in this moment, because the world of things is the world of two-ness, as Lao Tzu said, it's the world of illusion, and there's something underneath all illusion. And that's the importance of this work, is to self-inquiring, go in deeper. Who am I when everything is being broken around me, when everything I thought myself to be is being broken? What isn't broken in this moment?
Yeah, and that Lorna says, she says to people when asked to look in the mirror and say, I love you. That's a very, very powerful exercise. And to go as deep as you can with that exercise. So when you're looking into the mirror and you're looking at this reflection of this person, this woman, this man, you're looking at the person, you're looking at the form. It's to actually look through that. It's almost like one of those 3D pictures where you actually have to look through so that you can actually see the 3 dimension. It's very similar to that, to look right through it and say, beyond the grey hair, beyond the wrinkles, beyond the skin, beyond this gender, this age, I love that. I love that which never changes. I love the divinity of that. So that, for me, that's that exercise. And I mean, we work with that when we're working with people in real life. And the shifts that you see when people get it for the first time, where they actually get it, when they say, I love you, and they feel it, that I'm not just loving this reflection, which I might love today, but not tomorrow because I'm having a bad hair day and, I've got bags under my eyes, so I can't love that. No, it's loving you as you are and all of you in that unconditional way, which is love. Love is unconditional.
Yeah, we have, the mind has a conditional love, provided you do this, provided you look like this, provided you meet my needs, then I will feel a certain way towards you. And that is not the love that we seek. The love that we seek is this unconditional state of being. That's what it is.
It's unwavering.
It's unwavering. Never comes, never goes. That's the deepest love. Although in the English language we only have one word for it. You have in other languages, you have agape, or there are other words for it. But in truth, that is the love that we yearn to be immersed in moment to moment to moment. And we have the opportunity, when the cracks of life, of the story of life appear, in that moment, we have the opportunity to see through the illusion to that which has not changed. Because love never changes. Love is permanence. It's always here, but it's overlooked by the mind because the mind is only ever looking at form. It doesn't see the formless. So the cracks are an opportunity to perceive with your inner eye, with your inner knowing, that which is formless, that which is ever present, that which is eternal. And it is who you really are. When you look in the mirror and you say, I love you, see the divine, that divine essence which never changes. Look through the illusion. Michelle mentioned seeing into the, that 3D as we used to do with those pictures. But I'm going to say, even look deeper and go into the 4th, the 5th, the 6th dimension. See beyond all time. See to the timeless. That's where you'll find love. Because love is timeless.
And the thing is that we've got love confused because we've got only one word for it. So it's, I love you and I love the divine and I love ice cream, and the next day you hate ice cream. So it's got a duality, the way we perceive love. I love you and now I hate you. I loved my husband, but now I hate him. And the love that we're talking about is not that. It's non-dual. It's one. There is no duality in it. There can't be any duality because it's the ocean. It's the all that is. That's what you're looking. That's what you're looking to see through when you're looking in that mirror and saying, "I love you." You're loving all that is, everything, nothing.
Yeah.
You're loving nothing. Nothing.
You're seeing through the illusion of separation. Love is a sense of oneness, where fear is a sense of separation. And cracks are an opportunity to see that oneness, to see that which has never changed. That's the beauty of it. So this challenge in life that we may be experiencing at the moment must be viewed, I believe, as an opportunity to see deeper, to see the truth rather than the illusion. And the truth will set you free. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
You want to end off now?
Mm-hmm. I can do. Anything else to say?
We have a lovely affirmation for you, which we will select at the end of the meditation. And so...
You can select it now and then I'll just read it out.
Okay. All right. Do you want to choose one now?
Yeah, let me choose one now.
Okay. Do it differently.
Let me do that one.
We chose a green one with green as heart,
That's good.
which is the portal for love.
Yeah, I'll read it out.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it lines up with what I read out about the salience symbol. Okay, let's just settle in for a centering meditation. So make yourself comfy again if you're not already. And take a deep, beautiful breath in. And then a releasing, relaxing breath out. And another beautiful, deep, slow breath in, all the way in. Pause for a moment at the top of the breath, and then let it all go. Let it all go, let it all go, let it all go. And a third deep breath in. Pause, and then on the out breath, make the sound ah. Just let it all go. Beautiful release. And just consciously soften your body. Allow your hands to rest gently and softly. And just bring your attention to the sounds that you can hear. Just bringing awareness to the sounds. No labeling, no judging. If you find your mind going into a story about the sounds, just bring it back and listen. Listen to the sound of your own breath. The breath that is always there. Listen very carefully and see if you can hear the sound of your heartbeat. Or if you can perceive your own heart rhythm. Now that we're on the heart, move your attention to your heart. And imagine that you could breathe into your heart, right into the middle of your heart, so that your heart expands on the in-breath like a lung. And then as you breathe out, it relaxes. And as you breathe into your heart, soften consciously soften your body. Allow your shoulders to drop. Send a wave of peace from the top of your head all the way down your body. Beautiful, light blue, sparkly wave of peace. Just allow that blue peace to swirl around through your head, down through your neck, into your shoulders, down into your torso, clearing out whatever old patterns, old beliefs, anything that you've been holding on to for years possibly, that you're ready to release. Allow this beautiful blue sparkling energy to clear the channel inside you, all the way down your body. Almost that you have this beautiful blue tube running right through you, clear. And you're able to send anything that you don't need down through your feet into the earth. Now expand that tube or that column out so that it actually fills your entire being. And breathe and release. And listen to the sounds. If thoughts come in, just allow them to drift by like clouds in the sky, not attaching, not making them serious, just allowing them to move past you. And you staying as the witnessing presence. There's this beautiful spark of awareness. Just feel and connect with that inner peace that lies within you. And the affirmation that I pulled today is, in this moment, right now, there is peace underneath my story. Breathe those words in. I'm going to repeat them again. Take a deep breath and release. In this moment, right now, there is peace underneath my story. And feel that in your being. That there's a surface story, there are beliefs, and if you go down deeper, there is always peace. Last time, in this moment, right now, there is peace underneath my story. You might want to carry that affirmation with you through this full moon. Then stories might get quite big. Bring yourself back home by saying those words. Now reconnect with your breath. Connect with what you can hear. What you can feel. You might rub your fingers together. Feel your body. This beautiful temple that you've been blessed with. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. And take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Thank you, that was lovely. That beautiful energy to start the new week. Take that peace with you. There is always peace underneath all the chaos, all the drama of our lives. Just beneath the surface there is peace. In the same way that you might have a storm on the surface of the ocean, but if you go down deeper, there is peace. So I'll photograph this and put it onto the Facebook page, and let that be your guiding thought pattern.
Yeah, will help
as we move through the super full moon. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, lots of love. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your likes.
Let us
And if
know
you
how
find
you feel
value
now.
if you find value in what we had to say, please press the like and the share button. Thank you.
Thanks,
Love you all.
everyone.
Look
Love you
forward to
lots.
seeing you next week.
Bye.